Well, hello, my Tater Nation. It's your favorite root with the scoop. The one, the only, the potato. Oh. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Broadcasting live from beneath the compost heap, where the worms wiggle, the beetles boogie, and the lettuce from last week finally admits that it peaked too early. So you know us potatoes. We have lots and lots of eyes, and we like to watch the interesting things you humans do up top. And lately I've been seeing something that makes my little starch-filled heart skip a beat. You humans are making your garbage cook dinner. That's right. Your leftovers, scraps, and certain other materials can turn into fuel. And we're not talking electric cars here, folks. We're talking biogas. That renewable magic that turns yesterday's stew into today's flame. Welcome to part 1 of 2-part special, Your Garbage Can Cook Dinner. Sustainably, not explosively. Today we're building the beast, learning the how, the why, and the please don't blow it up portions. Next time, we'll be talking about the safely capture, cleaning, and burning of that gas. So before we get building, let's lay a little foundation of spuddy wisdom. Even in the dark, with a little bit of pressure and a little bit of patience, good things can grow. Even if you think you're in a dark place and you have nowhere to go, it's just being pressure, and you are about to be transformed. Get out of your comfort zone. Put a little bit of pressure on yourself. Do you think I'm comfortable being on camera for the whole world to see if they want to? No. But I know there's going to be people out there that would like to hear what I have to say, will resonate with it, and would even like an outlet for them to speak, and I'm here for those. And as Antoine Lavoisier once said, the father of modern chemistry, nothing is lost, nothing is created, everything is transformed. There is no end or beginning to energy. It just transforms to one thing to another. And that, my friends, includes dinner scraps. You, me, we can transform into the lions, the spuds that we need to take back our nation. Tater Nation! So what is biogas? Well, biogas is what happens when organic material like food waste, manure, and plant material break down without oxygen. This is a process that happens naturally in the Earth's crust. But inside of the sealed world, microbes feast, digest, and release methane gas. That gas can then be used in your stove. It's nature's way of saying, see, even garbage can glow up. All right, so let's talk about the building options. Because just like potatoes, digesters come in all shapes and sizes. So we'll start off with the 50-gallon digester. This one is perfect for the beginner or backyard tinkerer. You grab a heavy-duty plastic barrel, about 50 gallons, and you can convert it into a tiny methane machine. It's portable, affordable, and great for your small households. Just make sure the drum is black or painted black. That keeps sunlight out and helps keep it warm. Sunlight grows algae. Algae makes oxygen, and oxygen, well, that is like the garlic to vampires when you're talking about anaerobic bacteria. One whiff and they're out of there. So you're going to drill an inlet pipe on the top for feeding and an outlet pipe opposite side for the digested sludge. And then one more small hole near the center or top if you have a dome for your gas outlet. Seal it tight, airtight, like you're trying to keep secrets away from your wife or your ex. So this is your entry-level model. It's simple, easy to move, and perfect if your HOA already thinks that you're weird. So this is what a backyard digester, so this is approximately what you're going to be looking at. This is the actual digester. This is just pulled off of a Reddit post somewhere. This is not my digester. I'm just a potato. I can't make things. I don't have any arms, right? I just have eyes that are just like nothing. Anyway, so this is the black digester they've made. More than likely, they have to remove this lid in order to feed it. And then your top is for your liquid slurry to come out, and then your bottom is for your actual solid slurry to be able to drain out when your drum gets too full. And then this is going to be covered in our next video. This is what would be your holding tank for your gas. It's going to have water in the outer area. You can kind of see that water. Again, we'll go over that in the next video. Next up is going to be the IBC tote digester. You can find these totes pretty much anywhere in the world. They're anywhere from about 275 gallons to 330 gallon totes. They'll store liquids for farms typically. Some of them will have water or something, maybe small additive to the water. Those are excellent. If you get one that had chemicals in it, you're going to need to be very cautious with the chemical, or be extremely thorough with your cleaning process to make sure that you don't have any detriment to your microbes that are to be built. These are perfect for medium scale digesters. Plenty of room for food scraps and manure, but again, the key is going to be making sure that they are black. So they come clear, so it's going to be painting them black or wrapping them tightly in a tarp. Clear tanks, again, let in the oxygen, and the oxygen unalive the methane makers. So make it dark. The goth compost aesthetics is in. So you can plumb an inlet at the corner for feed slurry, an outlet on the opposite side for digestate, and a small pipe on top for gas. Attach flexible tubing to the outlet and you've got yourself a renewable fart factory on standby. It's like the 50-gallon drum's big cousin, reliable, sturdy, and still affordable. So this is what it would look like if you were to build one of your own. So this is produced by a company called Solar Cities. So you can see www.solarcities.eu/education/388. That's the picture, right? They have an actual video that they do, and it's actually very extensive, very well done. So I'll show you a little bit, clip for clip, to kind of show you what this process looks like in practice, right?
No power drill. Take a piece of metal pipe with a 3-inch diameter and heat it up and melt the holes through the plastic. We did this in the Dominican Republic with a 3-inch metal sink strainer.
So just like it mentions here, even if you don't have the tools, don't let it stop you from doing something if you want to achieve it, right? This is something that could possibly be done anywhere in the world, potentially giving gas, fuel, electricity to areas that maybe not have it.
Inches is 76 millimeters for those of you doing metric.
All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take 3 2-inch pipes. We're going to have rubber grommets. They're going to sit down inside of those melted holes or drilled holes. That rubber grommet is then going to seal that pipe tight so that it doesn't create any oxygen leak. Then you're going to take and cut your feed tube at an angle so that when you butt that to the bottom of your tank, it still can allow food scraps to push through that pipe and push into the tank. After you get that pushed down, you're going to butt it to the bottom of the tank. Then you're going to take your gas pipe and you're going to cut holes into that gas pipe, because as your slurry fills and it builds up to the line, like say like here, for example, right? There needs to be a hole for the gas to escape that slurry. And so you have to drill that hole above the slurry line, essentially. And you got to make sure that that's sanded and well smoothed so that it doesn't catch your grommet on the way in. You're also going to do that as well to the effluent tube, because again, And they'll actually explain it here pretty well, so I'll let them explain the process here.
We do this because bioactive solids are being digested at the bottom of the tank, mostly carbs and protein, while lipids, oils, and fats will rise and be digested at the top of the tank, and we don't want to remove feedstock that is still energy rich. By placing the outflow pipe on the opposite side of the tank, diagonally across from the feeding pipe, we maximize the hydraulic retention time of the feeding material.
All right, so that's going to be very important as well. This is going to give your system the most amount of time to digest and produce that methane off of those scraps. If your feed and your outlet tube are on the same side of the tank, you have all of this area that is going to be digesting, and it's not going to be cycling like it should. So to have your feed on one side and your effluent tube on the opposite side is going to give your best hydraulic retention time. Again, your gas pipe here, you're going to then take and cap that off with a ball valve. And so that you can collect that gas off of your gas line. Now, your effluent tube is going to be your next important part because this T is going to be important. Your water comes up and it flows out and gives you your liquid fertilizer. Now, water, it's not water, it's very much liquid fertilizer. It's going to be very potent. You're never going to have to buy fertilizer again with this liquid fertilizer coming off of this. You can dilute it probably a couple to one on your water ratio and still be able to heavily fertilize your plants. But the T here is very important because it helps to self-regulate the system. If you just have an elbow here, for example, it's going to create a gravity siphon effect. And as soon as you push in and this comes out, it then drains your entire tank. You need the ability for that to self-regulate. But it's important to understand that there is no oxygen going into the actual system because the water level is going to cap that off. So you don't have oxygen coming in through there. So you don't have to worry about that there. It's going to be beneficial because, like they mentioned,
time with an elbow instead of a T in Swaziland. A siphon will drain your tank in no time, but with a T, the system automatically regulates.
So as it mentions, the system automatically regulates with the T. So the T is going to be extremely important when it comes to this particular setup, for example. All right. So now we've talked about smaller scale. Now let's talk about a community size scale digester, the underground brick digester. Now these are going to be, you dig a pit, line it with waterproof concrete or bricks, and build a dome top. The earth keeps it warm, the bricks hold pressure, and it looks clean above ground. Think of it as the subterranean stomach. It's large, efficient, and lasts for decades. But unless you're an engineer, part mole and part mason, something like myself, get some help for this one. And once again, no oxygen, no sunlight. The deeper, darker, and tighter it is, the happier your microbes are. So this part is going to be extremely important, my compost comrades. It's not optional. It has to be completely sealed, completely dark. Why? Because your bacteria are anaerobic. They can't stand oxygen. If air gets in, the process stops. But it's more than just that. It's like holding a pool party and filling the pool with sand. Nobody's swimming and everybody's mad. Air leaks cause acid buildup. This is where it gets extremely important. Slow gas or even let explosive mixtures form. When methane and air combine, it's a explosive combination. Explosive. It's just super explosive. So seal your joints. Use plumber's putty, washers, and good epoxy. And then, of course, test it. Fill the system with a little air and spray soapy water on your seals. If you see bubbles, you've got leaks and you'll be losing methane to the wind. And remember, paint the digester black. Black absorbs sunlight and keeps it warm and blocks the light that feeds unwanted life inside. Again, sunlight equals algae equals oxygen equals dead microbes. So black equals warmth and happy microbes equals more gas. It's science with a dash of goth fashion. Now microbes are like me. We like warm and cozy environments. Not too bright. Ideal digestion happens between 95 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. On the higher end, it's better, but not too cold. The microbes get sluggish, and if you get too hot, they panic, like me in a fryer. If you live in a chilly place, here are a few tricks. Wrap the digester in insulation, old foam panels, reflective blankets, or straw bales. Place it near a south-facing wall or under a small greenhouse for solar gain, or go full genius and surround it with compost piles. The heat from the compost, decomposition, keeps the digester cozy and happy. If you're building underground, the Earth's temperature helps keep it steady year-round. You can even install a black hose coil on top. Sunlight heats the water that circulates around your digester, giving it that warm spa treatment. Because happy microbes mean happy gas. All right, my spuddy scholars, we're diving into the fun part. You can't make biogas without the starting culture. And by starting, I mean poop.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Fresh cow manure is best, but goat or pig will work too. It's packed with methanogens, the little microbes that make methane. So here's the mix. 1 part manure to 2 parts water. Mix it into a thick slurry and pour it into your digester until it's about half full. Seal it up and let it sit in a warm weather for 2 to 3 weeks. You'll start to see bubbles. That's the sweet sight of science. If it doesn't bubble, check your seals, not your faith. After startup, feed it small portions of food waste, spoiled fruit. Avoid oil, meats, or citrus. Keep the soup mix soupy, about the consistency of pancake batter. If it's too thick, add water. If it's too thin, add more scraps. It's like Goldilocks for bacteria. Not too chunky, not too runny, just right. So your digester needs a good home, somewhere warm, shaded, and level. Don't put it in direct sunlight or it may get too hot, or in a freezing corner because it may get too cold. Build it on a flat base, concrete slab, compacted dirt, or brick. If using barrels, try to keep them slightly elevated so the outlet drains freely. And if you're using IBC totes, secure them with straps or posts. You don't want a full tote rolling like a drunk tumbleweed. And most importantly, no open flames nearby. Biogas may be renewable, but it's still explosive if handled incorrectly. Save the campfire for after you've captured it properly in part 2. Everything alive gives something back, even the waste. You just have to create the right conditions for transformation. Darkness, pressure, and time. That's how nature makes energy and wisdom. Again, if you think you're in a dark place and you have nowhere to go, darkness, pressure, and time. Have patience. You're just being transformed into the diamond that you need to be. Today's episode is brought to you by the Compost Concierge, the only subscription service that sends someone to whisper encouraging words to your rotting food. Ah, yes, because nothing like "You're doing great, banana peel" every Sunday morning. Well, because decomposition deserves affirmation. Sign up today and get a free scented shovel. A scented shovel? If you smell your shovel, you're already too late, bro. So there you have it. Your digester is alive, sealed, and cooking up microbial mischief. But now comes the juicy part. How to catch that gas without blowing your eyebrows off. In our next episode, we'll talk about gas collection, scrubbers, and safety, plus the art of not smelling like your project. It's going to be a gas, quite literally. So please take care of yourselves out there. Keep an eye on your neighbors. You never know what they're going through. Be kind, always. Inside of the United States, please remember those Second Amendment rights. Your response time will always be faster than that of the police. Stay strapped, my friends. Stay around. Outside of the United States, take care of yourselves the best way that you know how. You are all very important. But for now, your friendly neighborhood potato signing off.